Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all. As you're aware, SGTech has been appointed by IMDA to run the vendor briefing sessions from May 2019. SME Go Digital program is a national program administered by IMDA together with sector agencies to support the digitalization of SMEs across 23 sectors as specified in the industry transformation maps. So first, the SME landscape. Today, SME constitute 99% of the local enterprise, which make up 2/3 of the national workforce and contribute close to 50% of the GDP. What is the definition of a SME? Based on Enterprise Singapore's definition, a company group's annual sales turnover should not be more than 100 million, or a company's group employment size should not be more than 200 workers. The major concerns encountered by SMEs in their respective businesses are rising costs, especially for businesses in sectors which require rental of physical space, high turnover of staff, and that staff might not have sufficient knowledge or are not tech-savvy enough to handle the complex software. The whole gist of SME Go Digital program is to make going digital as simple as these 3 steps. First of all, SMEs can assess digital readiness of their business from the CTO as a service platform, a one-stop web application, and refer to the industry digital plan for the different sectors. This is a step-by-step guide that helps SMEs to assess and adopt suitable digital solutions, depending on the stages of readiness of their businesses. Support from the consultancy services at Digital Tech Hub has retired, and it has been succeeded by CTO as a service. Next, IMDA will guide SMEs to take the first steps with useful industry knowledge. Then you as a vendor would know what are the solutions needed and what are the new sectors to be added in. As such, your SME customers are able to adopt specially pre-approved digital solutions for the respective sectors, and best part of it is that it will come with grant support. Regarding point 3, where can your SMEs customers get help? They can use the CTO as a service to request for digital advisory and project management services, or approach the SME centers if they need required business advice. Also, just to add, Start Digital, which was launched in Jan 2019, is meant to help guide new startups on the type of digital solution they should take on. It is in joint collaboration with IMDA, Enterprise Singapore, telcos, and banks. So these 3 steps are the end-to-end process illustrates the comprehensive resources that SMEs can reference to start their digitalization journey or take the next step to deepening their digital adoptions. Currently, we have a total of 20 IDPs for 21 ITM sectors launched to date, with the latest tourism IDP refreshed in November 2023. The Industry Digital Plan, IDP for short, is a step-by-step guide for SMEs. Within IDP, solutions are articulated across 3 different stages of business growth. The categorization of solutions for respective stages are based on global trending and validation studies with the sector agencies and industry to map out the type of solutions required by the businesses. This is so that SMEs are able to spot the solution which they need based on their stage of business growth. Building on the foundation established by the current IDPs, the new model will include refreshed solution suite offered under the Digital Solution Roadmap, integrated and advanced solutions to improve digital connectivity and deepen SMEs' digital capabilities, a roadmap on cybersecurity and data protection measures, expansion and updating of digital training roadmap to be aligned with the refreshed solutions under the digital roadmap and include change management. This is an example of the digital roadmap developed for the food service sector, which was refreshed in November 2022. It has taken into consideration trends observed in the sector, such as the shift in consumer behavior towards digital ordering, e-commerce, and food delivery, as well as assist F&B companies overcome challenges. Okay, so after SMEs know what type of solution they require, they can choose from a list of pre-approved solutions for the respective sectors. They can adopt hassle-free depending on their areas of need. SME customers are then able to enjoy funding support. Pre-approved solutions are pre-scoped with software subscription, hardware, professional services, and training required for automation of their operations. SMEs can apply for pre-approved solution through Business Grant Portal and start the implementation with selected solution provider after the sector agency has approved the application. Currently, IMDA and sector lead agencies have identified a demand from 20 sectors or subsectors, and IMDA is looking for digital solutions to meet the requirements of these sectors on the supply side. These solutions need to be proven to meet the criteria defined in the vendor self-assessment checklist. If you have a solution that corresponds to the criteria listed in the checklist, we welcome your submissions. Besides the sector requirements, there are also digital capability requirements that apply to all sectors. These are digital capabilities like cybersecurity, data analytics, PDP, and IoT to ensure completeness and robustness of the proposed solutions. Now we'll talk about the pre-approval process for vendor onboarding. So step 1 to step 3 that you see here, vendors should self-assess their onboarding eligibility and solution eligibility before attempting to do a full submission. So you do a pre-submission of your proposed solution using the vendor self-assessment checklist to check that it fulfills the criteria that the respective sector is looking for. And then you attend the vendor briefing to understand requirements. And step 4 is the submission of document stage, where you need to tell us that your solution is what IMDA is looking for. Step 5 to step 6, after IMDA assesses your submission, you may be invited for a tech demo session together with the sector lead, where you can demonstrate your solutions to them. Just to highlight, the lead time from step 2 to step 3 depends on the completeness of your solution, and the solution will be reviewed and the process serially upon completed submission. Step 7, if your solution is shortlisted, you'll be requested to submit the application form via the pre-approval system. At this stage, IMDA will then review at the same time, provide guidance on your proposed price packages so as to ensure that the packages meet the scope of the requirements with clarity, and SME customers can adopt the solutions as hassle-free as possible. As you may be aware, the Productivity Solution Grant supports companies keen on adopting IT solutions and equipment to enhance business processes. Hence, the pricing of the package must cater to micro SMEs and SMEs for easy adoption, and the solution should be scoped according to the purchase pattern of your customer. Do also note the pricing has to be before GST. At step 8, you will know if your application is approved or rejected. Upon approval, IMDA will issue the letter of appointment for a period of 12 months. For step 9 and step 10, vendor will need to accept the letter of appointment via the pre-approval system, and thereafter your solution will be listed on the respective government websites, and vendors may promote to their market and sell their solutions with grant support. The lead time from step 4 to step 10 is 3 months. This is an overview of the vendor self-assessment checklist. There are 3 areas that IMDA is looking for in your submission. There are 9 criteria for vendors to fulfill, and these criteria will be explained in the next slides. So your IMDA will also check if your solution has the ability and features to meet the sector requirements. For example, a vendor providing HRMS solution needs to adhere to IRS tax policies such as auto inclusion scheme. Accounting solutions, on the other hand, need to be listed on the IRS accounting software register prior to pre-approval. If your solution generates, sends, and receives digital invoices, then it needs to be PEPAL ready, which is the e-invoicing standard for solutions which create and update invoices, and manage sales transactions to facilitate a seamless and faster process through adherence of a standard digital format. And lastly, your solution needs to be cloud-based. Software as a service model is preferred. So please make sure that your solution meets all the mandatory requirements and features prior to submissions. IMDA will also assess whether your solution aligns with industry standards and best practices, such as, does your company have a trust mark for personal data protection? And also for solutions that collect personal data information such as NRIC, does the solution conduct vulnerability assessment to ensure that any security loopholes are being addressed? As a first step, you may visit this link or scan the QR code to perform the self-assessment of your onboarding eligibility. After the self-assessment, if you're ineligible, please do not submit a vendor self-assessment checklist. You may read the FAQ or ask any questions during this vendor briefing to address your doubts. On the left-hand box, you can see the results demonstrating that you can meet the criteria, meet the eligibility. While on the right-hand box, you can see the results demonstrating that you cannot meet the eligibility. So the purpose of these criteria is to ensure that vendor must be able to, or must be capable of serving the SME market in Singapore. Vendor must be financially stable. Vendor must have a good track record with government agencies. And the vendor must have good quality and adequate resources to deploy projects and provide support to SMEs. Vendor's solution must also be affordable to SMEs. Vendor must have a website that showcases product and services to SMEs. Vendor must have good quality solutions designed for SME needs. Vendor's solution must help SMEs achieve productivity gains. Reminder, if you're unable to meet any of the 8 assessment areas, please do not proceed to submit a vendor self-assessment checklist. If you can meet the onboarding criteria, you can visit IMDA ICM website and select a checklist based on where your solution best fits. Always check that you are using the latest version before submitting to IMDA. If you have downloaded a generic self-assessment checklist, you can see that there are 5 tabs. The first tab is the instruction. You should read and understand what is required of you. In the general assessment worksheet, you are required to do a self-assessment if you can fulfill the additional requirements. Take note that you have to complete the declaration on the data analytics and personal data protection. If your solution captures personal data and or have data analytics components, you are required to fulfill this requirement before submitting the checklist to IMDA. Take note, there are some requirements that will go live from 1st December 2024 onwards, so you are strongly encouraged to embark on fulfilling these requirements before the deadline. In the Solution Category Requirements tab, you will select a category that best fits your solution and self-assess if you can meet all the mandatory requirements. Please ensure your solution is able to meet all the mandatory requirements before submitting the checklist to IMDA. In the Satisfactory Survey tab, you will need to ensure that you have filled up the company UEN, company name, and solution name so that the link in the customer satisfaction survey will appear. Your customers will be brought to any SG form where they will fill up their company information and rate your services. Your customer would need to log in using their SingPass to complete the survey to verify their inputs against the submitted reference invoices you will provide as part of the approval process. You should monitor the completion of these surveys with your customers directly. Once you have 5 completed customer surveys, input 5 to number of surveys completed. The last worksheet, the overall dashboard, gives you an overview of the Excel filling completion status. You should not submit if you see the red alert. Only upon seeing the green sign, then you should proceed to embark on the submission. While pending the completion of the vendor self-assessment checklist, 5 customer surveys, and all other documentation, you can perform the following. For new ICM vendors who do not have an account with us, you should go to CogPass to assign the registered account SingPass holder with IMDA Media Service access rights. Note, you must grant access to 2 SingPass account holders. Then proceed to create an account in SGTech. Finally, you can embark on the draft submission where there are some more questions to fill up. If you need any assistance, you can download the manual self-help. This slide shows the estimated timeline from attending the vendor briefing. So a gentle reminder that you must submit your completed checklist within the 3 months of attendance to the your company's attendance at the vendor briefing. And yeah, so step 4 to step 7 is about 3 months. Some FAQs you might have. What if I've made a submission through SGDPAS prior to 1st April 2024? Do I need to fulfill the criteria? No, we will not apply the vendor onboarding and solution eligibility criteria retrospectively to cases submitted to us. What if I'm in the midst of preparing a checklist submission and cannot complete the checklist by 1st April? Do I need to refill the checklist on 1st April? Or B, what if I've obtained and completed 5 satisfied customer surveys but cannot submit full documentation by 1st April? Do I need to get my customers to do it via SG form? No, we allow 1 month grace period till 30th April for you to use the old documentation to make a new submission through SGDPAS. What if I have obtained a few satisfied customers but cannot submit the full documentation by 1st April? Can I submit partial in PDF and partial in SG forms? No, we strongly encourage you to use one format only to avoid such complexity that may lead to confusion. What should I do? What should I populate in the SGDPAS field for the 5 satisfied customer field? So if you can see the screen here, where you will input your 5 satisfied customer information. If your customer has submitted their survey via SG form, please upload the blank file for the field survey form. You should then proceed as per normal for the rest of the fields. Next question, when will the new checklist be available for download? From 10 April onwards. How do I check if I've met the criteria of good track record with government agencies? Can I contact IMDA or any other agencies to check? No, you will not be able to check this. If I'm unable to get an official answer, then how could I self-evaluate myself? You should evaluate your own business practices and grade yourself accordingly. Now we'll talk about the process for contract extension. The current appointment contract is valid for 1 year, with the option to extend the contract for another year subjected to IMDA and sector lead agency approval. To be eligible for plus 1 year contract extension, vendors are required to have a minimum of 5 approved PSG applications, which is 5 adopted recorded within the first 11 months of the existing contract period, and vendors should not have any outstanding complaints at the point of extension. Note, this criteria is subjected to change and may vary across sectors. Lastly, I would like to highlight that the maximum contract period is 2 years, and upon contract expiry, vendors are required to submit the solution for approval again. Step 1 from step 1 to step 7. Note that no reminders will be provided prior to contract expiry, and vendors are advised to submit their solution for pre-approval 3 to 6 months prior to contract expiry. So the purpose of the contract extension criteria are: vendor must possess good track record with government agencies, vendor solution is relevant to the market and industry, and vendor must deliver good solution and services to SMEs. The cooling period refers to a 1 year duration. What if I receive the notice of cooling period issued by IMDA? So the cooling period refers to a 1 year duration during which a vendor who has failed to meet contract extension criteria, no unresolved customer complaints, and BGB applications average review rating, or accumulated 3 or more warning letter, is required to wait before reapplying for a new contract. This period allows the vendor to address any deficiencies, improve operations, and demonstrate readiness before being considered for new contract or. Now we'll talk about the marketing of pre-approved solutions. The IMDA pre-approved lock-up and write-up has been developed to help vendors share the pre-approved status with SMEs in your marketing collaterals. It is a trust mark that lends credibility to your digital solutions to establish confidence in SMEs in your solutions and services. This indicates to SMEs that your solution have undergone stringent evaluations, establishing you as a reliable partner for SMEs seeking to embark on their digital transformation journey. With effect from April 2024, mentions of the solution that have been pre-approved and/or mentions of IMDA, SME Go Digital, or PSG must be accompanied with the IMDA pre-approved solution visual lockup and write-up. All vendors have up to 3 months, up to 30th of June this year, to update existing website and collaterals with the new lockup and write-up. All vendors will be given a unique link and QR code that needs to be embedded with the lockup when used in web pages and printed collaterals. Refer to the user guide for full details of usage guidelines, including do's and don'ts, and examples on applications on website, digital, social, ads, and printed collaterals. Guide will be made available on IMDA pre-approval page later this month. IMDA will be sending out an EDM with your unique QR code and UTM link, lockup visual, and link to download the user guide when it's made available. Failure to comply or a breach will result in penalties as outlined in the LOA and T&Cs. Some FAQs. What is this visual lockup meant for and how does it help us? The IMDA pre-approved lockup is a mark of trust that lends credibility to your digital solutions and establish confidence in SMEs. This indicates to SMEs that your solutions have undergone stringent evaluations, establishing you as a reliable partner for SMEs seeking to embark on their digital transformation journey. When do we need to implement the new lockup visual and write-up? All vendors will be given until 31st July this year to update their visuals and write-up with new materials. Failing to comply from 1st July onwards, I think just now was 30th June this year. So failing to comply from 1st July onwards will result in non-compliance, breach, and will result in penalties outlined in the LOA and T&Cs. Do we still need to share my artwork with IMDA when using the lockup and write-up? Yes, you will need to submit the artwork to SMEs Go Digital at imda.gov.sg to ensure that the lockup and write-up is being mentioned in the correct manner. What if I can't use the lockup as it is? All exceptions need to be sent to CTO ASS at IMDA and copied to SMEs Go Digital at IMDA for approval. Now move on to the vendor obligations and consequences. As an appointed vendor under the SMEs Go Digital program, we would like to share with you some good practices to maintain during your appointed period. The key areas are to drive SME digitalization using tools like CTO as a service, adhere to the letter of appointment terms and conditions, provide excellent customer support, and to build internal capabilities to ensure business continuity. Adhering to the letter of appointment terms and conditions is essential for upholding regularity, compliance, ensuring fair promotion of solutions, and maintaining program integrity. It establishes a framework of transparent and ethical business practices, safeguarding the interests of both the appointed vendor and SME participating in the program. Please note that the terms and conditions and program guide are provided together with the letter of appointment, so not reading the document or not being aware of these clauses are not good reasons for breaching the clauses in the LOA. The important clause and common pitfalls was highlighted in this briefing, and with that, we'd like to emphasize again that vendors who fail to comply with the guide and the T&C may result in IMDA issuing a warning letters or suspension in BGP or termination of your appointment as a PSG vendor. We'd like vendors to stay compliant to the terms and conditions. Key things to note: do not offer incentives. Do not be directly involved in PSG applications and claim submission. Ensure service delivery team keeps to customer commitments and delivers in accordance with Annex 3. Comply with advertising and marketing guidelines. Issue invoices and quotations that match with Annex 3. So please communicate the above information to the sales team, project team, current and future customer base. Vendors also should not falsely represent themselves, Impersonation is a serious offense that can result in termination of or suspension of appointment. So vendors should not falsely represent themselves as an employee of an SME by adding themselves to SME Pass account to handle BGP matters. And there are some few examples of impersonations on the slides. Some FAQs that you may have. If my customer has given me consent to follow up on their behalf, is this permissible? No, it is not permissible for vendors to follow up on behalf of their customers, even if the customer has given explicit consent. T&C Clause 4.1.2d of the pre-approved SME Go Digital vendor prohibits vendors from applying or making claims relating to any government grant on behalf of their customers, or managing any contact details and email accounts provided by their customers as part of their application for the government grants. Therefore, vendors should advise their customers to follow up directly with the relevant authorities or seek guidance from their superior or legal department. It's important to ensure that all actions taken are in compliance with the pre-approved SME Go Digital vendor terms and conditions, as failure to comply with these terms can result in termination or suspension appointment. Where can SMEs get help if they need assistance in BGP matters? SMEs can receive help with BGP-related matters by reaching out to the SME centers or contacting the relevant sector lead agency, such as Enterprise Singapore. They can visit the Enterprise Singapore website, fill out the contact us form, or call the hotline for assistance. Other than the program rules, policies, and regulations mentioned earlier, these are some of the common pitfalls or problems that are cited from vendors. In the area of code of conduct, do respond to your customer queries in a timely manner and sell your solution in a fair manner. In the area of advertising, publishing factual information about PSG program, keeping yourself updated on the changes to PSG program to reflect accurate data on your website, EDM, or marketing collaterals. Lastly, for retrospective PSG applications, vendors and SMEs can commence work once PSG application is put forth. However, SME must be aware that if BGP application fails, there is an agreed recourse. In the upcoming slides, I'll be sharing on how the revised data analytics and personal data protection requirements in the vendor self-assessment checklist that you need to align your digital solutions to. The use of big data analytics is on the rise, and it will play a central role in business operations for years to come. The capability of business to leverage on the data sets and information to make data-driven decisions will be a determining factor in their competitiveness both today and in the future. However, it is equally important for businesses to ensure that they have adequate security measures in place to protect the personal data in their possession to build customer trust and confidence. For SMEs with limited resources and lack of competency, it is challenging for them to get started on the data use and protection. To help SMEs bridge these gaps, IMDA is looking at enable responsible use of data through pre-approved solutions to help SMEs thrive in the digital economy. Embedding data analytics and personal data protection requirements in the pre-approved solutions will benefit SMEs as it will allow easy access to the dashboards and visualization features to analyze data and improve business outcomes. And two, built-in measures to better manage personal data protection risks. This will help to enhance SME digital competency and safeguard their customers' personal data. Starting from 1st December this year, all digital solutions must comply with the revised data analytics requirement to qualify for the pre-approval SME Go Digital program. Additionally, digital solutions that collect and store personal data must also adhere to the revised personal data protection requirements. Failure to meet these requirements by the stipulated deadline may result in the delisting or standing pre-approved digital solutions. Most of the revised data analytics and personal data protection requirements should not be foreign to you, as they have been kept as preferred requirements to give a head start for some time. IMDA has also done a quick poll with the existing vendors and found that most digital solutions are able to meet the data analytics and personal protection requirements. Most of the digital solutions will need to meet two data analytics requirements, except for those in 3D modeling, immersive visualization and analysis, CAD and CAD, computer-aided design and computer-aided manufacturing, digital marketing packages, document management system. For digital solutions with personal data, please note that there are a total of 6 requirements that you will need to meet. This slide outlines the 6 personal data protection requirements. These requirements are not new, but they are now mandated, emphasizing the importance of integrity key protection measures such as encryption, multi-factor authentication, and backup in digital solutions to enhance protection of personal data and enable quick recovery in the event of data breach. This shift from being preferred to being mandated signifies the heightened emphasis on data security and resilience in digital solutions. It is crucial for all digital solutions to comply with the data analytics and personal data protection requirements by 30th November 2024 to be eligible for pre-approval under the SME Go Digital team. As part of the declaration and validation process, you are required to complete an online declaration form with the necessary supporting documents prior to submitting your application to the SME Go Digital team. To the steps below, on steps you need to do. So visit the link shown to view the list of mandatory data analytics and personal data protection requirements. Familiarize yourself with the specific requirements and guidelines outlined by IMDA. Note that your digital solution does not need to meet the personal data protection requirements if it does not collect, use, disclose, process, or dispose of personal data. Gather the necessary supporting documents such as images, screenshots, write-ups, or any other relevant materials that demonstrate how your digital solution meets the requirements and submit them via the online declaration form. After submission, IMDA will review and validate your submission. They may require approximately 2 to 4 weeks to complete the review process. Once your submission has been validated, IMDA will provide an email confirmation of compliance. Upon receiving the confirmation from IMDA, attach the email confirmation in your application to the SME Go Digital team. Should you have any inquiries, please write into Data Protection Essentials at IMDA. So some FAQs. How do I know if I'm required to submit a declaration? You are required to complete and submit the declaration form if you are an existing pre-approved digital solution that is still active after 1st December 2024. Re-application of existing pre-approved digital solution that's expiring before 1st December. Example, re-application of solution expired in October 2024, or application for new or expired pre-approved digital solutions. Excuse me. My organization has multiple pre-approved digital solutions under SME Go Digital. Do I need to submit a new declaration for each pre-approved digital solution? Yes, you are required to submit a new declaration for each pre-approved digital solution. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah. Question 3. Does IMDA prescribe and mandate the metrics indicators to be built into the dashboard for various types of digital solutions? No, IMDA does not prescribe and mandate the metrics indicators to be built into the dashboards for various types of digital solutions. We acknowledge that different industry sectors and users may have varied requirements for data analytics. Can we still introduce an add-on digital solution that connects to our pre-approved digital solution through application programming interface to support the data analytics requirements? Yes, it is acceptable as long as the add-on data analytics solution is an integral part of the pre-approved digital solutions for ease of use by SMEs. However, please note that this will be subjected to approval by the SME Go Digital team. Question 5. What is considered as personal data? And what are some examples of personal data? So personal data refers to data about an individual who can be identified from that data, and from that data and other information that the organization has or is likely to have access. The rule of thumb is that there should be at least 2 data elements in the data set before individuals can be identified. So here are some examples of personal data. Question 6. My pre-approved digital solutions does not collect and process personal data. Do I still need to comply with the personal data protection requirements? Your digital solution does not need to comply with the personal data protection requirements if it does not collect, use, disclose, process, or dispose of personal data. What are some ways that I can implement the consent feature in my pre-approved digital solution? Here are some ways to implement consent feature in your pre-approved solution. Users can create consent forms, customize communication preference, privacy policies, and obtain consent from individuals through the solution, or create and send an email to the individual with the consent form link. Users can manually update consent details in the solution when consent is obtained through the portal solution during a call or in person. Implement functions such as a portal to allow individuals to directly update their consent, example, opt out of marketing materials through the solution. So question 8, how do I know if my pre-approved digital solution needs to build in the feature to capture consent given by the individual after notifying the individual on the purpose for the collection, use, and disclose of personal data? It is not mandatory for all the pre-approved digital solutions that collect, use, and store personal data to include a built-in feature to capture consent from the individual. This necessity to capture consent varies based on the specific use case and the nature of collected and processed data. For instance, human resource management systems typically handles employees' personal data for employment purposes. In this context, explicit consent for data collection, use, and disclosure is usually obtained through the employment contract or other legal means before the data is uploaded to the HRMS. Therefore, the HRMS may not require a specific feature for capturing consent, as consent is obtained through alternative methods. Conversely, CRMS may directly gather personal data from users, customers for marketing and communication purposes. In this scenario, it is important for CRMS to incorporate features for capturing consent from individuals after informing them about the purpose for data collection, use, and disclosure. Vendors shall submit the necessary justifications in the declaration for IMDA's assessment. Is storage of personal data on cloud databases such as AWS, M365, Google considered as a method of encryption at rest? Yes, provided the cloud database provide encryption. So please check with the cloud service providers on their product offerings. Do I need to set a default retention period in my pre-approved digital solution, or allow my users to configure based on their own needs? Nope, there's no need to set a default retention period. This is to provide flexibilities to users in setting retention period for personal data aligning with their legal and business needs. Some other programs that IMDA has introduced. So IMDA has introduced 2 initiatives to help organizations level up their data protection standards. The first initiative is the Data Protection Essential, which is designed specifically to help SMEs acquire a basic level of data protection, security practices through affordable security solutions and a one-stop professional service. SMEs who have successfully implemented the DPE and PDP may consider an SME implementation of the DPE favorably in the event of data breach. The second initiative is our Data Protection Trust Mark certification, which would allow companies to demonstrate that they have robust data protection practices in place. It will ensure the companies will have a good data governance, increase their competitive advantages in the digital economy, and allow companies to demonstrate PDPA compliance. This is important as government tenders are starting to ask for the DPTM certification. Also, in the event of a data breach, certified companies can request from the PDBC an undertaking in lieu of any investigation. Eligible organizations may consider applying to the Enterprise Singapore to seek support for some of the costs for DBTM certification and consultancy services. May scan the QR code or click on the links in the chat later, I think will be provided to find out more. Now I'll hand over the time to my colleague Pauline, who will go through the remaining slides. Pauline, over to you.
Pauline from SGTech, and next I will do a brief introduction to CTO as a service. IMDA has developed a one-stop platform, a web application for SMEs to have quick access to various digitalization resources. SMEs can self-assess their digital readiness and receive a list of recommended solutions based on their business profiles. They can also search and compare the functions of pre-approved digital solutions and contact the vendors via this platform. In addition, CTO as a service connects SMEs to a shared pool of consultants for digital consultancy and project management services. IMDA have appointed a central and stone forest to provide such services. SMEs can engage the digital consultants for guidance to better understand their business needs and priorities. Based on an in-depth needs analysis, the consultant will tailor digital solutions and training roadmaps for the company, which also reference the industry digital plans available for the various sectors. The digital consultants would help SMEs manage the digital project implementation, which will take in consideration the impact on key stakeholders such as employees, customers, suppliers, and so on. Eligible SMEs can enjoy free digital consultancy and project management services. IMDA has developed a one-stop platform. You might ask, what are the benefits of this platform to approved solution vendors and the SMEs? For potential partners like yourself, upon approval by IMDA, your solutions will be more easily discovered and searched by SME and users on the platform. With platform enhancements currently underway, SME and users would soon be able to find ratings and read the reviews of the solutions available. This will instill confidence and trust in your solution. To SME and users, CTO as a service is a one-stop platform to address most of their digitalization needs, helping them make informed decisions faster. Here's a recap of the key features of CTO as a service. Please scan the QR code to access the platform and check out the various features after this session. Next, I'll share about Invoice Now. IMDA implemented the nationwide e-invoicing network in early 2019. It's not, however, a purely Singapore-based network. It's been around for more than 12 years, adopted across more than 30 countries, and transacting over 100 million transactions annually. It's probably the most mature cross-border network of its kind. The pandemic has taught us how important it is to have such a fundamental business function, such as invoicing, to be digitalized. And so this initiative aims to streamline your business operations, increase accuracy, which in turn reduces unnecessarily rework, improve cash flow, and of course, contributing to the nation achieving its goal as a green economy. In January 2020, AGD, which is the central office for all invoices to government ministries and agencies, was inducted into the network, and that gives all 22,000 government suppliers a preferred way to send invoices. It is to help businesses improve efficiency, reduce cost, facilitate cross-border business transactions, enjoy faster payment, reduce usage of paper invoices. In January 2020, AGD is also on the network, and this gives government suppliers a way to send e-invoices via the network. Invoice Now was announced in September 2020 during the Future Economy Conference exhibition. Today, if you think about paying a person or business quickly and digitally, the first thing that comes to mind is Pay Now. Pay Now saw a tremendous growth as the go-to method of sending money, and similarly, there has been a large uptake in businesses using e-invoicing. Thus, e-invoicing has been rebranded to Invoice Now to further emphasize the relationship between e-payments and e-invoicing. IMDA is delighted to partner with DBS, OCBC, UOB, along with the Association of Banks in Singapore, to develop solutions which provide a flow to these basic functions. This process will allow an invoice that is sent through Invoice Now to be paid through the popular e-payment channel, Pay Now. By linking these solutions together, the process is now 3 simple steps. When a vendor and customer is on board the network, all the vendor needs to do is send an invoice via Invoice Now to the UEN of their customer. Upon receiving the invoice, the customer verifies it, and if they chose to, they send a Pay Now payment to the vendor. The vendor is notified of the payment and the process is complete. While the journey above may be more reflective of an SME journey, we recognize that different companies will have different needs. To address these different needs, there are over 80 IMDA pre-approved service providers who offer Invoice Now capabilities. This means whether you are a large or small company, there is an Invoice Now service provider for you. Over time, we look forward to more service providers connecting their Invoice Now solutions to e-payment channels like Pay Now and extending these benefits across all businesses. This infographic is a showcase of how Invoice Now works when an e-invoice is sent from the seller to the buyer, which is step 1 to 2, and how the invoice can be quickly processed by the buyer and paid by various e-payment methods, such as Pay Now to the seller, which is step 3. So let's watch the promotional video of the benefits of Invoice Now.
Great! Business is going well, work is getting delivered, and you're already planning to expand. But you wouldn't get the cash flow you need without invoicing. So you spend hours manually preparing paper invoices only for your client to lose it or have it rejected because of mistakes, which would cause delayed payments that will slow your business down. But with Invoice Now, you can now get paid faster. With it, you can send e-invoices directly to your clients via the nationwide e-invoicing network with existing solutions. Just activate Invoice Now on your Peppol-ready solution. Now, create your invoice. Select your client's Peppol ID. Key in your invoice details, and you're good to go. Paperless, effortless, and seamless. Your invoice will be able to reach all businesses on the entire network. And with Invoice Now's standardized format, your clients will be able to process invoices and payments quicker too. That means you can enjoy smoother invoicing, faster payments, and a great way to save the environment. Join the network and grow your business today. Invoice Now. Get paid faster.
Hope that the video gives you a clear picture of how Invoice Now works on the business end. To further clarify what is and is not Invoice Now, when businesses are on the network, Invoice Now allows one party using a finance solution to send invoices straight into the other party's different accounting or ERP system without manual intervention such as printing the PDF invoices or keying it in, which means the receiving end just needs to look and verify that the line items are indeed what has been ordered or purchased, and send it to accounts payable. Next, I will briefly share about the PEPAL network. This initiative operates on the International PEPAL network. What you see here is an ecosystem where the businesses are on the outermost circle and are connected by business systems, which are the PEPAL-ready solutions. PEPAL-ready solution providers are connected by access point providers. An access point is essentially the gateway to the PEPAL network. We currently have more than 30 access points, and they each signed an agreement with IMDA, the PEPAL authority. For a solution to be PEPAL ready, they can select one of the 30 access point providers and work with them to get your solution ready. Once businesses are on the network, they are able to send and receive e-invoices to each other, and that sums up what PEPAL is and how InvoiceNow operates. To summarize the benefits of InvoiceNow from the video and throughout the presentation, it's a streamlined process to reduce manual inputs with system-to-system transmission. It allows for faster payments and less use of printing PDF invoices, creating a greener business. Here are the criteria to become a PEPAL-ready solution providers. PEPAL-ready solution providers are platforms such as accounting or enterprise resource planning systems, which provides InvoiceNow features. For more information, you can go to the link here or write into einvoice@imda.gov.sg. And also for additional information on InvoiceNow, you can go to the pepalguide.sg. As we grow the InvoiceNow network, we are expanding the supported document types available in the network. From our early surveys and study, we have found that invoice response and e-ordering are two documents that businesses would like to have to further support their business processes. Hence, we have implemented these new documents as preferred features. Invoice response is a document from buyer to supplier providing a status update of the supplier's invoice on the buyer's accounting system. This enables suppliers to receive the status of their invoices, such as message acknowledgement, accepted, and rejection, so that the need for follow-ups will be greatly reduced. E-ordering comes in two different documents, being order only and ordering. Order only is a one-way document from buyer to supplier with details the order. Ordering is where on top of the order only document, the supplier is able to respond with the order status, being whether is it accepted or rejected amongst other things. Solution providers can choose to implement order only or ordering or both. Businesses can choose to receive orders even if they may not be generating orders themselves. Solution providers without order functionality may choose to simply ingest and display incoming orders and potentially flip it to an invoice for a more advantageous two-way match at the buyer's side. Some benefits of InvoiceNow includes its interoperability of its documents, allows businesses to manage their cash flows, and more importantly, allows for operational efficiency. Also with InvoiceNow, reduced manpower efforts and data entry errors can be achieved since it is digitalized. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Adrian Long, who is part of our SMEs Go Digital Advisory Committee in SGTech. He will elaborate on how SGTech can help you and the industry on this program. Adrian, over to you.
Hi, thanks, Pauline. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon to every one of you. Nice to see all of you here again. Okay, basically, I will just give you a brief outline of who is SGTech and what are the programs which we have to help you all to write the digitalization with. Okay, so we have been a leading association for Singapore tech industry, representing more than 1,000 members companies. So ranging from MNC, large local enterprise, SME, and innovative startup itself. So it's the largest community in Singapore where companies converge to advocate for change and also to drive what enable the tech innovations and accelerates the tech adoption to spur greater sustainability in the sectors to digitalizations and all these processes itself. So our mission is to catalyze driving ecosystem that power Singapore as a global tech powerhouse. So there are two strategic thrusts of SGTech itself. Thrust one, position Singapore as a global node for digital and data. And then we have to build on trust itself. And the thrust two is to take collaborative actions and be part of the solutions to Singapore and global to do sustainability. So underlining this two strategic thrusts itself and all our business activity is what we call the talent for tech. So we are trying to build the industry with the relevant talents which we require so that to drive the whole economy into a digitalization platform. So we have the members engagement in terms of the steering committee. So make into two portions, the sustainability and the talent itself. Then we have also the various chapters and communities. So over here, there will be the AI and high performance computing chapters, cybersecurity chapters, cloud and data chapters, data center chapters, digital transformation chapters, digital trust chapters, and Singapore enterprise chapter, and smart nations chapter, and EdTech companies committee, platform companies committee itself. And then we have the advisory. We have the data protections advisory, digital trust center of excellence advisory, government and procurement advisory, next gen network advisory, and SMEs Go Digital advisory, which you are attending this program now. Okay, so each member which you sign up as an SGTech member, you are entitled to go into any one of the interest group in terms of the chapters and communities. So I'll not go into the details of all the each committee itself, but basically you can actually go into the website and then refer to more details. Or speak to our personnel to get more details. Okay, and this is the advisory itself. Cool. So for benefits of our SGTech members, so by plugging into the largest business community of leaders, trying to drive the next leap in digital transformation, so your company can get access to one of the seat with as part of a trusted voice, so you can voice out your concerns. You need help, which will require us to portfolio to the relevant agency. By all means, you can come to us. And also a springboard to develop enduring outcomes for your business at home and also abroad. So we have exhibitions, we have overseas partners to link up to, so that to create opportunity for you. We also bring in some of the companies who want to resell their products, appoint distributor in Singapore. So we can also link you up in this aspect. So there's also a gateway to communicate your thoughts, leadership, and also learn from other leaders. So basically, we through a lot of networking, which we organize for you. And then right now, we have every month, basically 4 events. So there will be a Monday itself, first week on the Monday, then the second week of the Tuesday, and third week of the Wednesday, and subsequently. So these are the interesting programs which we actually established for you to do networking and also to establish the contact for you. So as you can see, these are some of the influential tech companies which are on board with us. Yeah. And then we have this tech partner. So tech partners companies actually establish new partnership with other vendors. That's what I mentioned just now. By linking up with overseas tech company who want to do appoint distributors or to resell their product of some sort, this is the platform which you can come in. So recent tech company that leverage on tech partner Tencent, Oracle, Fujifilm Asia. So as a SGTech member, you will be having a complimentary to come on board this tech partner platform itself. Otherwise, you have to pay about $1,070, including GST, for non-SGTech members to enjoy this benefit of this tech partner platform. So we are constantly staying in contact with our members. So through industry events, latest news, industry research, and also trends analysis itself. So we are reachable via the LinkedIn, and Facebook itself. Yeah, that's so much of the about the SGTech itself. So as would like to also share with you that if you attend this vendor briefing today, you also receive a 10% discount off the membership fees. Okay, by just scanning the QR code, and we will follow up with you closely. Yeah, thanks a lot. Back to Pauline.
Thank you, Adrian. We have now come to the FAQs segment of the briefing. Before we open the floor for questions, let me go through some of the common FAQs we have received. The first question: my solution is a proven solution used by many MNCs, government agencies, and/or SMEs from other countries for many years, but I do not have any local SME customers. Can I submit my solution for pre-approval? The answer is no. You will need to provide customer reference from your local SME customers. These 5 satisfied local SMEs must not be subsidiaries and affiliated to one another. As part of the evaluation, we need to assess if your solution can fully meet the needs of local SMEs and that your company has the necessary track record, such as sales and after sales, in serving local SMEs. The next question: why are 5 satisfied customers required? 5 satisfied customers are required to show that the solution has good track record in the industry and is able to deliver the intended outcome. Preferably, the customers need to be live users instead of trial beta pilots who have used the solution for more than 6 months. So for questions 3, 4, and 5, please refer to the slides. And for questions 6 and 7 as well.
Yeah, just to add, all this information is available on our website at sgd.org.sg, so you can view all the FAQs there.
Okay. So before your submission, please ensure all these points are addressed. Ensure that you're using the latest version of the completed checklist. Ensure all the tabs within the vendor self-assessment checklist are filled up with supporting notes to ascertain the features of proposed solution. Ensure 3 years of financial statements are submitted. A positive net equity in the latest statement is mandatory. If your company is incorporated less than 3 years, you can just submit all the audited financial statements to date to complete your submission. Ensure only one solution category of the sector specific tab is to be filled up. For reapplication, previously submitted 5 satisfied customers cannot be reused. Lastly, ensure that your company details are filled up correctly in SMEs Go Digital pre-approval system. By failing to fulfill the above points without any valid reason, will attribute to the delay in processing of your submission, so please make sure you check these. To recap, this is the onboarding requirement to get your pre-approved solution approved by IMDA. With effect from now, all new contracts will be approved to a 1+1 year contract appointment. After you get approval, your solution will be listed on the Business Grants portal for your SME customers to apply for grant support. You can ask your SME customer to find out about their eligibility by contacting the number stated or email directly for advice.